So we are going to start today's discussion, and it was cycle 2 test 12, and it was modern India. And I am so happy that the questions were moderate questions only, and I'm so excited, super excited to see your marks, your score also. Before that, today's discussion would be like this. You people will come forward. I will just ask you, and you will tell me what kind of the logic you applied into that particular question. Okay? So I think you are also very happy to be invited and discussed. Okay, first question, the very first question, it's about the colonial education system or policy, the British education policy. The question was like this: consider the following statements regarding Wood's dispatch. We know that this is something Magna Carta of something. Am I right? Yes. And also we know that it is something introduced in the mid of the 19th century AD. Okay. It is considered as the Magna Carta of Eastern education in India. First statement. The main purpose of dispatch was to spread Western knowledge. It recommended the inclusion of Sanskrit, Arabic, Persian language and literature in the curriculum along with the Western knowledge. Yes, universities, Parvati coming forward, please. I'm happy. Universities at Calcutta, Bombay and Madras were set up after Wood's dispatch. Government was empowered to veto universities' Senate regulations. Okay, 5 statements are there. Whenever it is 4 statements, 5 statements, 6 statements, it is a Karunya bumper lottery for you. When the limited statements, the chances of elimination is too tough. When more choices, the chances of elimination too high. So Parvati, please come. So the first question, she will share us what kind of the logic she applied to solve this problem. Okay, let's listen to Parvati. Please come, stand near to me. Yes, Parvati, then tell everyone what was the logic you applied to find out the right answer. Okay, please stand here. Can you see Parvati? Okay, please listen to Parvati. First question is wrong, Anna. Okay, fine. Exactly. You see, you know the point, and this is, this is something, the common thing happened to all of you guys. You are happy? I am happy, you are happy. Okay? You never noticed that word Eastern, because in the mind the Parambari happened is, Magna Carta of education. You are happy. You got to the Nirvana. Am I right? But you never noticed the word Eastern education. This is something happening with the UPC questions here. They said it is considered as the Magna Carta of Eastern education in India. Very often because of that super excitement, you will ignore the words in between. So the first law, like the law of gravity, the law of these prelims solving questions, or question solving is read each and every word in the statement. Am I right? This is not my experience, this is Parvati's experience and everybody's experience. Am I right? This is not Magna Carta of Eastern education, this is Magna Carta of English education. This is Magna Carta of English education. Okay, this is Magna Carta of English education. Okay, it is because of the carelessness, 65% of the aspirants, why they fail to score above the cutoff is just because of carelessness. Am I right? Thank you. Okay, then what is the next logic, Parvati? Second and fourth statements are correct only. Yes. Okay, for the sake of first statement, you eliminated third statement. Fine. Then, any other logic? Fine, good, please. So here simple, 5 statements are there. 5 statements are there. Rendu sadhana ariyamengil, if you know 2 things, you can easily come up with the right answer. First thing is like, this is not Eastern, this is not Magna Carta of Eastern education, this is Magna Carta of English education. Am I right? So the codes given here, whatever is with 1, you will automatically eliminate it. Am I right? Then you see that they say, government was empowered to veto universities' Senate regulations. You know that University Act happened much later, We heard about that Lord Curzon, his University Act, his University Senator regulations, and more control over university educations. Everything we have to wait till that KSRTC bus to come, or maybe we have to wait till 20th century to happen. Am I right? This is in 1854. Am I right? This is just the Magna Carta of English education here. This just started this education system here. And do you think that before that university system existed here? Before Magna Carta, before Wood's Dispatch, university system existed here? Yeah, can you just apply your logic, basic common sense? Education system തന്നെ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഈ മഗ്ന കാർട്ട വെച്ചിട്ടാണ്. ഈ ഉന്തി കുറേ അങ്ങ് ചെന്നാലേ യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റി എഡ്യൂക്കേഷനിൽ എത്തുന്നുള്ളൂ. പക്ഷേ ഇവിടെ പറയുന്നത് എന്താണ്? ഗവൺമെന്റ് വാസ് എംപവർഡ് ടു വീറ്റോ യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റീസ് സെനറ്റ് റെഗുലേഷൻസ്. ദാറ്റ് മീൻസ് even university education existed even before this Wood's Dispatch. That is the most illogical, irrational, and whatever most foolish and stupid idea. ശരിയല്ലേ? ശരിയല്ലേ? Senator regulations of university എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുമ്പോൾ it means that it is inferred that universities already existed. Is that there? No university, even this Wood's Dispatch proposed for, yes, appoint or maybe establishment of universities on modern lines. Am I right? After that only there is Senator regulations of universities, etc. So, that is simple logic. Wood's Dispatch ഒരു പുതിയ എഡ്യൂക്കേഷൻ സിസ്റ്റത്തിന് വഴി തെളിക്കുന്നു. അതിന് മുമ്പേ യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റീസ് എക്സിസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്തു എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുമ്പോൾ ഭയങ്കര മണ്ടൻ ഐഡിയ ആണ്. ശരിയല്ലേ? പക്ഷെ ഇത് നിങ്ങൾ ചിന്തിച്ചോ? പലരും ചിന്തിച്ചില്ല. ചിന്തിക്കാത്തതുകൊണ്ടാണ് തെറ്റിപ്പോയത്. Okay, if you know that first statement is wrong and fifth statement is wrong, you will automatically reach up to the answer. Am I right? What is the answer? Which is C, 2, 3 and 4 only. The main purpose of Wood's Dispatch was spread of Western education. Absolutely correct. Recommended inclusion of Sanskrit, Arabic, Persian language and literature in the curriculum with the Western knowledge. Yes, it proposed a three-tier system of education. There is primary vernacular education, then secondary and higher educations. You see, it proposed that mass education, female education, teachers training. It proposed that vernacular education, English education, higher education. It proposed this government schools in districts and educational departments in provinces, granting aids for these private entrepreneurs. Many things it proposed. Am I right? Yes, that way second is correct, third is correct, and also fourth statement is correct, because universities set up after this Wood's Dispatch. If you know the logic of fourth and fifth statements, if you know that they are too contrasting to each other, easily you can eliminate the choices, wrong choices. You can come up with the right answer, Bhavana. Am I right? Yes. Okay, please. Second question is, so first question answer, please. Sunit, yes, that is C, 2, 3 and 4 only. Coming to second question, which among the following were known as reformist movements? I would like to call upon, yes, Bhavana, please come forward. Yes, the question is asking for reformist movements. Question is asking for reformist movements. In order to find out this answer, what is the logic you applied, Bhavana? Yeah. Yes, simply if you know the basic thing, if you know that Arya Samaj, Deoband movement, they are revivalist movements. If you simply know the fact, Arya Samaj is a revivalist movement, Deoband is a revivalist movement, easily you will come up with the right answer. Am I right? Please, Bhavana, your answer is? A is the answer. A is the answer. There is Prarthana Samaj, Aligarh movement, Ahmadiyya movement, Tattvabodhini Sabha, all are examples of these reformist movements. Am I right? Even in the previous revision discussion also, we discussed on reformist movements and revivalist movements. Am I right? Yes. So here the reformism, focus is on, they are not, like sticking on to this past traditional glory and reviving the traditional institutions, systems, etc. So you can see that reformism, revivalism different. For example, Arya Samaj, they believes on the infallibility of the Vedas, going back to Vedas, Arya Samaj. But the Brahma Samaj is not like that. Am I right? So just to see what is the basic differences between these reformist and revivalist movements, and also you go for the examples of reformism and revivalism. Am I right? Yes, here the answer is A. Moving on to the question number 3, consider the following statements with reference to Orientalist Anglicist controversy in India. 4 statements are there. First of all, we will read all the 4 statements. Okay. Anglicists argued that government spending on education should be exclusively for modern studies. The Anglicists were supported by most advanced Indians of the time like Rajaram Mohan Roy. Orientalists argued for expansion of traditional Indian learning Lord Macaulay's minute settled the row in favor of Orientalist. And these are the four statements. The question is, what all regarding Orientalist Anglicist controversy true in India? Can you say this Orientalist and Anglicist controversy related to civil service reforms, revenue reforms, judicial reforms, educational reforms, civil reforms, what reforms? Educational reforms. Okay, one of you please come forward. Who will come forward? Yes, Ruha, please come forward. And Ruha will explain the logic she applied here. Please. Listen to Ruha.
The fourth statement can be eliminated so easily because Lord Macaulay promoted Western education for upper middle class.
Exactly, simple, very true logic she said. Okay, Lord Macaulay's minute to settle the row in favors of this Orientalist, which is very wrong. Lord Macaulay is a guy who promoted the idea of that Western education in Western language. Am I right? Yes, he is not in favor of that Orientalism or Orientalist arguments, etc. In fact, yes, Lord Macaulay's minute says a single shelf in this English library is more than sufficient to replace the entire Indian and Persian literature. Am I right? He is promoting the idea of English education and downward filtration theory. He is not promoting that vernacular education, Oriental learning. Okay, he said, and also he was the chairman of the Public Instruction Committee and said, yes, English medium must be English medium, instruction medium must be English. Am I right? Yes, of course. So by knowing that, you can eliminate all other options and your answer will be, what all the options with the 4, you will eliminate, and answer is C, 1, 2 and 3 only. In fact, first, second, third statements are correct regarding this Anglicist to Orientalist controversy, please. So that first statement is correct, second statement is correct, and third statement is also correct. Okay, your answer is C. Moving on to question number 4, consider the following statements regarding valid reasons for adoption of the permanent settlement. You heard about the permanent settlement, Mahalwadi, Rayotwadi, Isradadi, different land revenue settlements you heard, na? The reforms of that Warren Hastings or maybe Cornwallis or maybe Thomas Munro, William Bendick, different governor generals and their land reforms we already discussed. Now here, yes, I think, yes, Aishwarya, you come forward. What was the logic you applied here? I will read all the 4 statements here. Existing land revenue system was impoverishing in the country, ruining agriculture and was not producing large and regular surplus that the company hoped for. First statement. Second statement, the decline in production of agriculture also affected handicraft production. The British wanted to create a class of zamindars who would be loyal to company in future. It was easier to collect revenue from small number of zamindars than from the innumerable peasants. Yes, come forward. What was the logic you applied here, or how you solved this problem? How you solved this question? Okay, listen to Aishwarya, what she says.
Statement to eliminate like decline in production of agriculture also affect handicraft production. That actually already handicraft production being stressed in change ಅದು ಅತ್ರ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. So I eliminated second statement and for option C.
Okay, thank you, Aishwarya. Unfortunately, the answer is Delhi. Answer is Delhi. But I appreciate you. After all, you applied some kind of logic. Now the question is, the valid reasons for adopting a permanent settlement. Of course, the first one. Rajiv, the first statement. What is that? Existing land revenue system was impoverishing in the country, ruining agriculture and was not producing large and regular surplus that company hoped for. Yes, the company wanted huge revenue. Am I right? And in those days, biggest form of revenue, it is investment into land. Or maybe India is a country which largely depends on this agrarian economy. Am I right? Agrarian sector. Obviously, that is a reason. They wanted huge surplus. They wanted this, large scale production, large scale surplus and large scale collection of the revenue. And of course, first statement, Jinsu, that is a valid statement only. Decline in production of agriculture also affected handicraft production. They are very integrated here. The raw material for handicraft industries, it is from this agricultural industry, agrarian sector only. Am I right? So they are interconnected, interrelated. So something there is decline in agriculture, directly it will affect that production in handicraft industries. Am I right? So they are interconnected. Decline in production of agriculture also affected handicraft industries, which is true. British wanted to create a class of zamindars who would be loyal to the company in future. That is also true. It was easier to collect revenue from a small number of zamindars than from the innumerable peasants. That is also true according to Shekhar Bandyopadhyay, according to Rajiv, according to Biban Chandra. These statements are very true only, and according to Gallant IAS material also, it is very true only. So all the four are correct statements. Okay, your answer has to be Delhi 1, 2, 3 and 4. Thank you. Moving on to question number 5. Which of the following Governor General or Viceroy is best described from the statements given below? It's a very easy question. Am I right, Ramya? Yes. Then Hemant, Treaty of Perpetual Friendship with Ranjit Singh, abolition of provincial courts of appeal and circuit set up by Cornwallis, appointment of commissioners of this revenue circuit, revenue and circuit, abolished the double bata system. You see, there is a guy who is known for abolition of sati or restriction on female infanticide, restrictions on slavery, then there is a suppression of the thugs, and there is appointment of Indians into government departments or government services. Then there is a guy who is known for abolition of these provincial courts. There is a guy who is known for this abolition of double bata. There is a guy who is known for reducing the number of these servants in the services. So that guy is known as, or his name is William Bendick. Okay. So 1828 to 1835. Am I right? 1828 to 1835? Yes. And also he is regarded as the first Governor General of India. Am I right? Yes.